Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. We're back on that C19 train now. So let's look at Anje Falkenrath. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right, but she looks like hardcore now, I'm telling you. But I really kind of like this card. 3 mana, 1/3 haste, discard a tap, discard a card, draw a card. So, I mean, you don't have to wait. She's not sick. You can just spend the 3 mana. She comes down and just start. Oh, and whenever you discard a card, if it has madness, you untap Anje. Now, importantly, that's a different line. So, just in general, if you discard a card with madness, she'll untap. I mean, we're splitting hairs there. I know, but excuse me, still getting better. But so just getting a lot of value, like value card draw out of your madness cards, was not enough for me. I wanted something different. Now, there is a stack of madness cards I have got in here. Every red-black madness card that I own, a copy of each, is in here. And it's, I don't know, high 30s, low 40s, something like that. But I thought, you know what? What if we just had in black red just a way to win, and we just use Anje to peel through our library to get to our engine, our combo. Well, as it turns out, I kind of both didn't find it and found it at the same time. So we're going to go through the all of our madness cards here, because a lot of these are not nothing. I mean, here we're never going to pay 6 for Dark Withering, but we'll totally pay the 1, right? Call the Netherworld. You get, I mean, Fiery Temper. So a lot of these are not exactly blank cards. Some of them are. Some of them are. We're just doing it because they have madness. Now, I kind of like the Curse of the Fool's Wisdom. But the idea is turn 3, play our girl, and start the engine. Now, there are a couple of cards that I weirdly enough, couldn't get my hands on for the deck. Elixir of Immortality, Felden's Cane, and like Reliquary Tower. So, although in theory I don't really need the Reliquary Tower because Anje does not increase the size of your hand. You know, you stay even keel, but because you're discarding and then you're drawing. However, what's going to happen is you're going to keep doing it until you end up with cards in your hand that do not have madness. Okay? And that's going to be your full stop, right? It is when you have how many you started off with, and none of them have madness. And mostly, probably, they're going to be lands. So that's where Seismic Assault comes in. That way, we can ditch our lands. Now, Restless Dreams, you can discard as another way to discard your excess lands or excess cards that you don't need to return those madness creatures back to your hand to kind of restart your engine a little bit. Now, if we have Archfiend of Ifnir out, whenever you cycle or discard another card, you can put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. So this is kind of our way. If we see the game is kind of getting aggro kind of fast, we can stop at the Archfiend of Ifnir, cast him, and then continue on maybe the next turn to, kill out all the creatures in the board. I'm running the hollow one just because I realize a 4/4, even if it's free, is not amazing. But the synergy was there, and I was like, why not? Zombie infestation. Here's another way to ditch some lands if we don't have the seismic, or maybe it's already gotten blown up or whatever. Um, Ruthless Sniper. Kind of the same thing as Ifnir, but we've got to pay the mana, and it's only on target creature. The sniper may go for something else better. That may be one of our slots for the cane or the elixir. Faith of the Devoted. Whenever you cycle or discard, you can pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. Now this is enough to where I think I might actually want to pay the 1. Bone Miser is kind of a... I like it because this is a self version of Waste Not. So whenever you and we're doing all of these things because, madness appears on like everything, except walkers. That's just a matter of time. Watch. But we're going to be discarding creatures to get the free zombies. We're going to be discarding lands to our seismic assault to get even more black mana that we can use to fuel the whatever and non-creature, non-land drawing cards. Oh gosh, Bone Miser is the MVP. Glenhorn Buccaneer, discard a card, deals 1 damage to each opponent. That right there, these are, that's kind of a simpler version of Psychosis Crawler. So Psychosis Crawler was the very first card that as soon as I saw Anje, I went, okay, her and Psychosis Crawler is probably a win. And then I found the others, and I was like, you know what? I was looking for a probably 2 to 3 to 4 card Rakdos combo that I could just assemble real quick. And I stumbled across these, and I was like, well, it's just by quote unquote finding the combo, I can make that the actual combo with Psychosis Crawler and the Engineer and all the other stuff. We have Shadow of the Grave. Get all the cards to your hand that were discarded this turn. What? With Anje, this is crazy. So, naturally, I'm using Cathartic Reunion, Tormenting Voice, Goblin Boar, Sound and Blood. Yeah, I should probably be using a Faithless Looting as well, but, mana-wise, I didn't put a whole lot in there. I'm using the Ritual, a Signet, and a Clue Stone, mainly because, well, Anje just costs 3. Now for removal, of course we have a Terminate, Doomblade. Check this find out. I had forgotten all about Ghastly Demise. Because, yeah, it does have the non-black thing, but still, we're going to have some cards in the graveyard, Red Elemental Blast to, stop everybody's favorite Rift. I'm running a Lightning Bolt. I'm not entirely a fan of the Lightning Bolt in this style deck. Yeah, we're using it as kind of removal-ish, but it will probably go for the other copy of the Elixir of the Cane or whatever it is that I find. Or, heck, they're not beyond printing more Madness cards. So, and then, of course, we have that Chain Reaction, which is most of the time a Red Wrath. Now, for our land base, I tried to use, the cycling lands as much as I could. The Barren Moor, the Forgotten Cave, Desert. But then, of course, we have our dual color with the Gate, the Refuge, Barrens. Whoa! Hey! I just knocked it on over there. Warp Landscape. Evo Wilds, Transguild Passage. I don't know. There again, the passage. I may actually, at 37 lands, that may be a little much for this deck, simply because the highest casting cost thing that we want to actually cast is what? The Ifnir is Ifnir 5 or 6, and the Crawler is 5. So, and in this particular deck, obviously, we want to draw into our win and not attack. So that may be the first one to go. Encroaching Waste and Rick's Matty. And that is what I have got for this one. To get this back in the box here. Glad to get those boxes back from the Ultra Pro. Glad they didn't have a supply issue anymore. So, put number 467 up there. Actually, I have 3 more ready to go. So, I don't know if I'll get time to record them tonight, but I do appreciate y'all watching. And camera looks crooked. That means I'm probably crooked. I do appreciate you watching, and we're gonna keep this C19 thing going until we get done. Probably there might be a few decks sprinkled in there. I have a patron request for She-Ray. Tomorrow I will be picking up the next set of deck boxes, so I will have, yeah, I was that low. I'll have a deck box to actually start brainstorming She-Ray in. When I say brainstorming, that's what, let's see if we can show you. Those boxes right there, those are all decks that I have started that pretty much I started brainstorming, and as I get cards for it, I was like, oh, this will be good. I'll just drop it in that box. Drop it in that box. That way, once I get to the point to where, hey, I'm going to build that deck, there's a good chunk of cards there to choose from. And I don't have to go looking for another copy of whatever, you know. So, but She-Ray is definitely coming for patron request, Mr. Chris Thompson. That's one of the features of the patron. If you, I've done several already, but if you're a patron, there's a deck that you want to see that I haven't done, tell me. I will move it up the list, provided I have the card, obviously. But still haven't. Yeah, there's a few I still don't know what I'm going to do with. Angus, I don't know. It's going to be hard for me not to. I don't know. But anyway, got to get these done because we are, how far away from Eldraine are we? We're not far. What, a month? Something? So, yeah, I'm going to try to power through these as fast as I can and try to make up some ground here. And that way, because I figure with Eldraine bringing us that Brawl product, we are going to have however many legends are in the set proper. And then I figure the Brawl decks are probably going to have, what, 2, 3 apiece in them? The Commander decks have 4. So I don't think it's going to be as prolific as a Commander item, but I can see them having 4 decks probably, 3 legends apiece. And it wouldn't surprise me if 2 of those were unique to the, since we know that there are going to be cards that are unique to the Brawl deck. So, I don't know. It stands to reason that from right now, it's possible that Eldraine could have as many legends as Dominaria had. I mean, all total. Because Eldraine, you're going to have the cards that are in the booster pack sets and the cards that are in the Brawl decks. And then whatever else they decide to do. So, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. I'm just rambling now. Speaking of Eldraine, what do y'all think about the, what are they calling that? Oh, the money pack, the collector booster. I don't know. It sounds like we got what we asked for by them not take what was that? Mythic editions. They took the Mythic editions away. I said they took it away. They never gave it to the LGS, and now the LGS has this opportunity to sell this collector pack. It sounds like we got exactly what we asked for, but we just don't like that it's going to carry probably a $25 to $30 price tag. I know Morrow said 20 to 25, but let's face it, open market, no MSRP, yeah, it's going to be $30. And from what I understand, it's a one-shot run. I don't know. I'm not the finance guy, y'all know that, but I do think it's interesting when they try to do new things, and I have been witness to most of the new things they have tried, since '94, and it does seem like they're pushing, and more importantly, they're pushing our format. So we got to love that, right? More eyes on our format. Hey, we've always had Stoneforge Mystic, right? Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Y'all let me know what you think. And right now, I think we're going to shuffle and cut.